Okay, let's dive into this. If you're just starting to look at higher education, you've probably noticed it comes with its own, well, its own secret language. Words like tuition, credits, dorms. It can feel a little much. So in this quick explainer, we're going to decode all these key terms so you can get started on your search feeling totally confident.
Yeah, feeling a little lost in all the different options and new terms, that is completely normal, so don't you worry. By the end of this, all these concepts are going to be crystal clear. We're here to cut right through the confusion.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll start with the big picture stuff. What's the difference between a college and a university? Then, we'll dig into the details of what you'll be studying, we'll tackle that super important topic of cost, and finally, we'll take a peek at where you might actually live.
All right, first up, let's tackle the most basic question of all. What's the real difference between a college and a university? Getting this right is honestly the best first step you can take to finding the right place for you.
So here's the main distinction, really. A college usually focuses on undergraduate degrees, that first 4-year journey to get a bachelor's degree. And they're often a lot smaller. A university, on the other hand, is usually a much bigger place that offers everything, from those bachelor's degrees all the way up to advanced master's and PhD programs. So think of it this way. If you like a smaller, more tight-knit community, a college might be perfect. But if you want a huge ocean of options to explore, a university could be the ticket.
Now, the other big fork in the road you'll see is public versus private schools. Public schools, like the whole University of California system, get funding from the government, which usually makes them a more affordable choice. Private schools, like a Harvard or a Stanford, they rely on their own private funding, and that often means, you guessed it, a much higher price tag.
Okay, so now that we've got the types of schools down, let's get into what you'll actually be studying. This part is all about the building blocks of your degree, your courses, and your credits.
This is a term you are definitely going to want to remember: transferable courses. All it means is that the credits you earn at one school can be taken with you and used at another school. And this is huge if you ever think you might switch schools, because it means you won't have to start all over from scratch. It's like a safety net for your hard work.
You're going to hear schools brag all the time about offering a wide range of subjects. This is just a fancy way of saying they have a ton of different things you can study. They're not just focused on one thing. You could explore the arts, business, engineering, sciences, you name it. And this is awesome if you're not totally sure what you want to do yet. It gives you the freedom to explore and find your passion.
All right, let's talk about the practical side of things, the money. This can be the most confusing part of the whole process, with its own special vocabulary. So we're going to break down the key financial terms you've got to know.
The first and, well, the most important word here is tuition. Just think of this as the main sticker price. It's the core fee you pay just for your classes and for being taught. It's the fundamental cost of your education.
So you might see a number just like this, $15,000. But hang on, here's the really important part you have to look out for. Those two little words, per semester. If you miss that phrase, it completely changes the math on how much you'll actually pay.
So what exactly is a semester? It's simple. It's just half of a school year. A typical academic year is split into 2 semesters, usually fall and spring. And that means that $15,000 number we just saw, that's only for half the year. The actual total tuition for the year is double that, $30,000. See? Big difference. Here's a pro tip for you. Listen carefully to how people talk about the price. They often won't just come out and say, the cost is. Instead, you're going to hear softer, more indirect language, kind of like this phrase right here.
So when you hear someone say, you'll be looking at somewhere around, your brain should just immediately translate that to, this is the price. It's a common way to talk about the cost without being super direct, but it means the exact same thing. This is what you should expect to pay.
Okay, so we've covered the type of school, the classes, and the cost. Now let's get to the day-to-day experience, where you'll actually be living. For a lot of students, this is going to mean on-campus housing.
On-campus housing is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a place to live that's right there on the university's property or campus. And this is super convenient because it means your classes, the library, the dining hall, everything is just a short walk away.
Now, the most common type of on-campus housing is a dorm, which is just short for dormitory. You can basically think of it as a big student apartment building. And it's good to know what you're getting into, right? You'll almost definitely share your bedroom with a roommate, you'll probably be sharing a bathroom with your entire floor, and you probably won't have your own kitchen. It's all part of the experience.
And really, that's the whole point. From understanding colleges and universities to tuition and dorms, you now have the basic vocabulary.
You can understand what people are talking about. You can ask the right questions, and you can go into this whole big decision with so much more confidence.
And that brings us to the biggest question of all. Now that you speak the language, you can start asking yourself, what really matters most to you? Is it the size of the school, the price tag, or the specific programs they have? This is your journey, and it starts right now.